William "Billy" Stobie was an Ulster Defence Association quartermaster and RUC Special Branch informer who was involved in the shootings of student Brian Adam Lambert in 1987 and solicitor Pat Finucane in 1989. His 1990 admissions to journalist Neil Mulholland provided new information which led, in February 1999, to British-Irish Rights Watch submitting a confidential report to the British government. This in turn would lead to the reopening of the Stevens Enquiry, which uncovered state paramilitary collusion at a level way beyond what Sir John Stevens had originally reported. Early life. Stobie was a native of loyalist West Belfast who joined the UDA for the first time around the time of its foundation in 1971. After a short spell he left and joined the British Army, serving outside Northern Ireland. Returning to Belfast when his spell in the army ended, he rejoined the UDA and served the organisation as an armourer. Stobie had initially applied to join the Ulster Volunteer Force but was rejected by that organisation, which feared that he might be a government agent due to his time in the army, and instead rejoined the UDA, joining a company of the UDA West Belfast Brigade in Highfield. Brian Adam Lambert. On 8 November 1987, the IRA detonated a powerful bomb at the Enniskillen Remembrance Sunday ceremony, killing 11. There was no immediate direct reprisal, partially as a result of an appeal by Gordon Wilson, father of one of the victims. The exception to this was when Brian Adam Lambert was mistakenly targeted and shot the following day at a building site in Highfield, Belfast. He was a 19-year-old Protestant student with no criminal record or paramilitary links, but was assumed to have been a Catholic. At the Stevens Enquiry, Stobie admitted supplying the guns for the attack and driving Stephen Harbinson in the getaway car. Both Stobie and Harbinson stated they were sickened by the mistake, and for the first time Stobie realized that the UDA was unprofessional. Harbinson was also arrested. He was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Following his release under the Good Friday Agreement, he skipped bail on drug-dealing charges in Northern Ireland. He was rearrested on the Costa del Sol on separate charges of drug trafficking, kidnapping and arms possession. Once more he was given bail and disappeared. Discovery as an informer. Stobie's informing did not go unnoticed. In May 1992, he narrowly avoided being killed by other members of the West Belfast Brigade who suspected he was let out. At the time, Stobie was operating the switchboard at Circle Taxis on the Shankill when their officers were raided by the police, and the owners questioned about a taxi that had been ordered to the Glencairn estate. This car had been hijacked whilst on that call by the UVF and used in an abortive operation by the group. West Belfast Brigadier Johnny Adair was told by a friend that Stobie had told the police about the incident, and it was decided that he would be shot. As an informer, on the evening of the 21st of May 1992, Stobie was called to the house of Jackie Thompson on Snugville Street where a party was being held, with Adair and fellow UDA members Donald Hodgin, Tommy Potts and others in attendance. Stobie did not attend, so Thompson and Hodgin drove up to his house and dragged him out. They took him to an alleyway where Adair was waiting, and after a struggle, a fleeing Stobie was shot 5 times in the back and legs. However, he survived the attack despite his injuries. Pat Finucane. According to Henry MacDonald and Jim Cusick, Stobie provided the gun used to kill Pat Finucane, and they further claimed that once he gave the weapon to the hit team, he called the RUC to let them know that a killing was about to take place. In April 1999, as part of the Stevens Enquiry, Stobie was arrested and charged with Finucane's murder. In June that year, as agreed, journalist Ed Maloney he published Stobie's version of the circumstances of Finucane's death. The charges were later commuted to aiding and abetting the murder. Stobie's trial eventually collapsed because of the failure of Neil Mulholland, by now Northern Ireland office press officer, to take the witness stand. Stevens 3. Stobie was rearrested and charged with murder as a result of Stevens 3. At his trial, the chief witness, Neil Mulholland, refused to take the witness stand and Stobie was released. In his overview and recommendations, John Stevens stated, "I have uncovered enough evidence to lead me to believe that the murders of Patrick Finucane and Brian Adam Lambert could have been prevented." In 2001, Stobie let it be known that he would be willing to testify at an inquiry into Finucane's killing, stating that he would not name loyalists but would name their RUC handlers. By declaring that he supported the Finucane family's demand for a public inquiry, he effectively made himself a target for his former UDA comrades. On the 12th of December 2001, Stobie was shot dead outside his home at 4 Thriver Road, Glencairn, Belfast. The Red Hand defenders claimed responsibility. Stobie's killers, who shot him 5 times, had actually belonged to the UDA and were using the Red Hand defenders' cover name. In a statement made by a masked paramilitary after the killing, it was claimed, Billy Stobie could have stayed on the Shankill and been left alone had he not spoken out on Ulster television and backed the public inquiry. He betrayed his comrades by doing that, and for that reason he paid for his treason.